You know, it's been far too long since we've made a video that the Canadiens fan base is going to get mad about. So, let's go out there on the Twitter and see one of the tweets that kind of went viral the past few days. Yeah, this popped up on my timeline and I saw it and I was like, oh darn it, that's a video topic. And I don't like this topic. I really don't, and I don't think you're gonna like it either, but this is a very real idea that we have to talk about because when it comes to the contract negotiations for Cole Caufield, Kent Hughes just simply has not gotten his job done just yet. Now, I'm not going to go out there and say that I'm panicking, and I don't think it's right to go out there and start panicking as well, but it has been sort of an issue that people have been sort of tinkering with the past few weeks. Hey, Kent Hughes, come on. You know, you kind of have to get that contract extension done. When's Cole going to get his contract, huh? Come on, Kent. Come on, Kent. Wake up, Kent, please. This is the tweet that I'm referring to that sort of went viral. It's from Jesse Bell. I'm just going to go out there and read their Twitter bio here. Husband, father of two beautiful girls, owner of Old Sports, credentialed media of the Fueled by Philly, so Philadelphia Flyers, also the host of the Flyers Alley podcast. So Jesse goes out there and does some work for the Philadelphia Flyers, and he's got the podcast. Flyers Alley does some good work. I've seen them pop up on my timeline as well in the past. And this is the tweet that went viral. Hearing from McDub Hockey, now just pause right there. Who is McDub Hockey? This is John McWilliams, NHL insider, as well as part of the Old City Sports Network. Hearing from McWilliams that the Flyers may offer sheet Cole Caufield from the Canadiens. It's a possibility, and you need to find the right number. Compensation varies in the AAV. Could be 4 first-rounders if it's over $10 million. I would say $9 million a season by 7 years. However, Montreal would probably match. Now you could say, Lego, why are you making a video about some random dude talking about some other random dude saying that there's an offer sheet possibility? Well, the thing is, I don't really think it's fair to go out there and call Jesse Bell from the Flyers Alley pod just some random dude. And this tweet actually did get some traction. It's at over 100,000 views at the time of recording this audio. In fact, the first reply is from Anthony DeMarco, who does stuff for TSN 690, etc. He replies saying, yeah, I don't think so. But either way, this idea is out there, and people have sort of been referring to it once in a while, so much to the point that the word Caufield was trending last night in Vancouver. So, let's talk about this idea. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Flyers, let's talk about Cole Caufield, and let's talk about the offer sheet. Now, firstly, the immediate thing that comes to my mind when I think about Philadelphia and Cole Caufield is, darn it, man, you had your chance, and you missed it. The reason I say that is because back in 2019, when the Flyers had themselves an opportunity to draft Caufield, you gotta remember, they traded down in the draft. They had the 11th overall pick, they traded down to 14 because Arizona wanted to get Victor Soderstrom. However, in that 14th overall spot, when you had the Philadelphia Flyers fans in the bar chanting out, Cole, 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 and when you had that brief moment of time when the Flyers announced they were drafting somebody from the NTDP, only to have Flyers fans cheer their heads off, the cheers became boos when the Flyers selected Cam York instead of Cole Caufield. And a lot of Flyers fans back in this time frame were saying, wait a minute, why? Come on, he was right there. Cole Caufield, the top goal scorer the NTDP had ever seen, was right there, and you took the defenseman instead? Now, no disrespect to Cam York. He's a good player, and I'm sure he's going to have a great NHL career, but Cole Caufield was taken immediately after by the Canadiens at the 15th overall spot. I believe it was Shea Weber who made the draft pick, right? But either way, Cole Caufield and Philadelphia, y'all had your chance. You just didn't take it. Now, a few years down the line, Cole Caufield has been a very good player in the National Hockey League. This past season, 36 points in 46 games played, and 43 points in 67 games last year. Obviously, we know Cole's been slowed down by injuries, but when push comes to shove, he is a gamer. He goes out there and he scores goals. He is one of the most dynamic offensive players the Canadiens have had in years, and he's only 21 years old, or 22, excuse me. So there's a lot of potential here for Cole Caufield. The difficulty is, He's only played, 100 NHL games so far? And while he does have about 70 points in those games, is that worth it to say, all right, here you go, Cole, 8 years, $9 million a season. Here's the contract, the big money deal that everybody thinks you're supposed to be able to get. What exactly is the range here? And because he is an RFA, because there's the open possibility that some other team offers him a boatload of money, like Philadelphia, for example, the offer sheet threat does loom over. Now, of course, offer sheets are a two-way street. In order for an offer sheet to actually work, Cole Caufield himself would have to go out there and sign the gosh darn thing. We have seen offer sheets be used in the past, not necessarily by players that want to leave, but we've seen them be used by players who just want to get the negotiations done. If Cole Caufield really wants $8 million by 8 years, and the Canadiens are not willing to give that to him, it's a pretty smart negotiation tactic to say, all right, if the Philadelphia Flyers are willing to give me that money, that's the amount of money I want, and Montreal's just not giving it to me, well, okay, I'll sign this offer sheet. That dollar amount will be on the table, and if the Canadiens decide to match it, then hey, I get the same contract, but with Montreal. We sort of saw that thing happen with Sebastian Aho a few years ago. We made the entire video and conversation regarding Sebastian Aho, quote-unquote, using the Montreal Canadiens to get his negotiations with the Flyers, or not the Flyers, the Hurricanes done. So if Cole Caufield is feeling a little bit devious, this might be a possibility that he could explore himself. If he really does just want to stick around in Montreal, but he doesn't want to get that contract negotiation process dragged out, and if Kent Hughes is not willing to budge, then he could just say, all right, well, Philly, 8 by 8. Give it to me, and then I'm signing this with the intention of Montreal matching because I know they will, and then I'll get the money that I want. Sounds great. However, of course, there is a lot more intricacy to that. The Philadelphia Flyers would need to be in a position to offer the guy whatever it is that he feels is necessary for him to sign. And the Flyers, I mean, look, they've got $7.7 million in cap space right now. For next season, they've got, what is the number here? How is it working out? Yeah, $7.7 million. They have to re-sign a few guys that aren't really too important. I mean, JVR is pretty important, but he's 34 years old. You have a few RFAs to re-sign: Morgan Frost, Kiefer Bellows, Brendan Lemieux. Cam York is the big one, too, that needs a contract as well, but we already made our entire conversation go on about him. You've got Ryan Nelson, the LTIR, so there is some flexibility that you've got, but ultimately, if you were to just say right now, okay, do the Philadelphia Flyers have the funds to do this? The answer would be yeah, especially if it's something that's a really big deal, like what Jesse Bell's going out there and saying. 4 first-rounders if it's over $10 million a season. I would say $9 million by 7 years, but the Canadiens would probably match. My other question to you here is, if the Flyers, or some other team, if Cole Caufield gets offer-sheeted $9 million by 7 years, if you are a Canadiens fan, would you match this? Or would you just say, all right, screw it, we'll take the first-rounders, we'll take all the stuff that you get when you don't compensate or when you don't match the offer sheet, we'll get the compensation instead. Is Cole Caufield a player that right now you'd feel comfortable giving $9 million by 7 years to? Or $9 million per season over the span of 7 years. Yeah, $9 million total over 7 years would be pretty good. But Cole Caufield has had a very good showcase in the NHL so far. It's just that sample is so limited that it's difficult to really go out there and say with any certainty that he is an $8 million 8-year player. I know Nick Suzuki is making a good amount, but he's had a longer career in the NHL so far, and he's had a bigger resume. Cole Caufield, while he is very talented, you could definitely say, hey, the resume is just not there to justify giving him, 9 by 7, so $63 million on his next contract. It's a big dollar amount, so I could understand the concern. Thoughts in the comment section below, though. I hope you enjoyed this video. Juraj 99, and bye.